Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and I have another update of my AFL Fantasy team. I haven't done an update for a couple of weeks, just want to let you guys know that are interested in this series of videos. I'm not sure if I'll do an update every single week. It does depend how I'm going as well, and I've been improving. My team has been improving my scores. I've moved up to an overall rank of 346 plus 2,000 from the previous week. So obviously I would have been over 2,000th. And my round score was almost 2,200. And this early in the season, getting those kind of scores, I'm really happy I was able to do that. I just got to keep the consistency. Honestly, I've always wanted to win. I've always had that goal in mind. One season, I can't remember, it was back in the day, maybe 2010, 2011, around that time. I finished in the top 100. It was I can't remember, it was 90 something. It could have been like a 97 or 96. So that was my best season, my best finish ever. So I really want to win. I'm one of those people, starting the season, I actually believe I can win the whole competition. So yeah, my team's improving. I reckon we can be, with a few good weeks in a row. This is what we need here. We need a few good weeks in a row, my team. My players need to, I'll be eyeing, well, I don't know if would it be possible, 2 weeks in a row, a score like that? It's what I'm eyeing anyway. Definitely 2,200 plus is on the radar, I hope. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the trades I've made since round one. I think the first update I made since the season started anyway. Yeah, it was after round one. And I brought in Taylor Hunt for Jack Nunes. He was really disappointing. I know a lot of other people took him out as well. Credit to him, though. He did improve. Not drastically, though. But I was happy with my trade that I made to bring in Taylor Hunt. He's playing a midfield role for Richmond. He's always in the highest possessions for them every single week. Named in the midfield, named in the followers every single week. So that's a bit more convincing to keep him in that role. You can have faith in him. You know he's going to get he may not get super high score like Luke Hodge but you know he's going to be consistent. He's going to get good scores every single week, acceptable scores. Look at that, minimum of 84. So yeah, you can, if 80s are acceptable, yeah, acceptable for defenders for me. So one of the trades I've made this week actually is Lumumba. He's come in, and you might think, yeah, you just got him because he got 100 this week. That is slightly the case, and it was because of another trade I had to make in the midfielders, which I will get to. But I did bring in Lumumba for Michael Hibberd from Essendon. And it's not just because of that, yeah, Hibberd, he hasn't been doing too well, so it's warranted to get rid of him, and I couldn't really see improvement in him. It could make sense to keep him if you could see signs, but honestly, there's no signs in him this season that I saw so far that he is going to get consistent good scores, and that he can break 100. I haven't seen enough evidence from him. So Lumumba's come in, and he's on his day. He can absolutely run the show, and he would be one of the better players, one of the more talented players at Melbourne. So, and he's got a low break even for this week. I believe it's around 53 or something like that. And also another reason why I feel it's a good idea to have him, or another player that is popular, you can see 35% of people have him. He did increase 8k last week, but he's still gone down 17k for the whole season. So I've got him at a cheaper price than other people have who got him from the start when he was over, 400k. So I'm happy about that. But what I mean here is he's a popular selection. And I would imagine more people, after this week, you'll see that number increase. Does anyone know, does that update live after every day or something? Or does it update every week? I'm not really sure about that. Leave your feedback if you know that. But anyway, as I was saying, when he scores poorly, it's not as a big a disaster because a lot of other people have him, and other people are going to be getting that score. And when he does get a good score, of course, that is good. It's like one of those bigger picks. It doesn't matter if they do poorly, like a Dane Swan or something. Everyone else who knows what they're doing has him, so it's not that big a disaster. And they most likely, most weeks, hopefully anyway, they're going to get a decent score, so it's going to help you along the way. Luke Hodge, I don't even need to talk about him, or maybe I'll talk about why over 60% of people don't have him in their teams. He's absolute superstar, and for a defender, it's a no-brainer almost. And you might think at the start of the season, oh, he's too old. But yeah, and I'm not even a Hawthorn supporter. You can see, unfortunately, I'm a Carlton supporter. But yeah, I rate Luke Hodge highly. Definitely in the top 5 players in the AFL, in my opinion, especially this season, the way he started. So anyone else, just the rookie players. So I really only have 3 premium players. I'm not sure if you'd count Taylor Hunt as a premium, but yeah, I took Jack Nunes out for him. So those players that you are eyeing to get the 100 anyway, will they be mid-price? You're still expecting them to try and get around 100 for the week. Maybe defenders, you'll be accepting 90. Unless it is Luke Hodge, you'll be looking to expect over 100. But yes, only got 3 of them. So I've got bigger players in other positions. And obviously, McIntosh, Oxley, and Sard, they're going to be making a lot of that money. The only downside is our interchanges, our bench defenders, but there's not too many quality ones. There's a few played last week. I think the one for Adelaide, Kelly. Where are we? I like this. I can just search it, yeah, like this. Kelly defend. Do I have to go down the bottom? Where are we? Anyway. Can I go... How can I sort this? Sort by price, yeah? Sure, he's down the bottom somewhere. Oh, he would have... he went up plus 20k, didn't he? Yeah, Jay Cully. Oh, sure, yeah, I remembered his name, right? There was just there's a few Callys in the AFL, but yes. He's 140k. See, that's the question. That's the difference when this is migrated into AFL Fantasy. Obviously, it used to be called Dream Team. Players increase after they play their first game, which I'm just not used to it, you know, because I've been used to it for so long, the way it used to be, like after the player plays 2 games, then you can analyze if you want to get him in or not. But here, they're increasing right away, which makes me a bit hesitant with getting him, you know, because you've already lost out on 20k that he's made, and you don't know how much more he's going to make. So yeah, a bit dodgy on that. Kieran Byrne, I brought him in last week, and now he's out. And I couldn't really trade him because there was more important trades I had to make. He's just a bench player, so it's not that crucial. Of course, money being made is important, but I feel scores are equally as important. So I'm not sure why I'm saving. Just let that do its thing right now. But yeah, we'll move into the midfield selections. And this was the big selection that I made. So the 2 trades I made this week was Lumumba and also Jack Steven. I didn't have either of those scores, of course. I already told you about Lumumba brought in for Hibberd, and Jack Steven, you think I got a decent score, and yeah, he wasn't even part of that. And I did have a big poor score. I had Mitch Wallace, and I was raging so much when he didn't get subbed because they already had to make a sub, but he couldn't come on because clearly he was injured. And I was just like begging for him to get on just to pick up some extra points, just play. Oh, and yeah, unfortunately couldn't get back out there. Which was a bit frustrating. He got like 15 or 10 or something like that. Can't remember because I got them both Supercoach and AFL Fantasy. So it was a bit frustrating, and like I would have broke 2,200 if he didn't get injured in that game. So he did make a little bit of profit though. He was my selection. I chose him instead of Rich. But the thing I'm happy about now is I have no mid-price midfielders. You could maybe argue Murphy, average of 88. He impressed me last week, got 105, got 30 possessions. If he can back up, if he can turn up against St Kilda this weekend, I'll be happy with that. I'll be happy to keep him, but if he doesn't, he's gone. Of course, if you don't get any injuries, and yeah, must trades. I'm hoping, yeah, we don't, so I can get him out if he doesn't do well. But yes, Jack Steven, absolutely amazing, was so impressive. I watched the Collingwood game closely last week. I actually had a bet on Dane Swan on Sportsbet. Little shout out. This is no promotion or anything. I'm not getting paid for this. But yeah, the group betting for AFL Fantasy points, I bet on Dane Swan to be the highest in his group. And he got the highest for the game. It was really close. It was very tense. I was like, yeah, praying for Jack Steven not to get another tackle. It was very tight. He was leading towards the end, wasn't he? And even Armitage was in that group as well. But Dane Swan got over the line. So I was happy about that. But yeah, like I said, I was watching Steven closely, and he's definitely a premium midfielder. He picks up the points. He racks up the disposals, tackles, just everything. He's everywhere. Now he's St Kilda's best midfielder. Like, no Lenny Hayes anymore. Dal Santos obviously gone to Kangaroos, and yeah, he's their best midfielder, and he's up and coming as well. He's becoming an experienced player for them. So absolutely amazing, and Rory Sloane, I had captain last week. Unfortunately, I didn't have Dane Swan, but he was named in the centre. And yeah, he's going to be back to his best. And he did get, I think, yeah, Taylor Adams was a late out last week. So obviously he stepped up in more of a midfield role. He still played a bit forward, Swan, but, you know, he's just back to his best now. 100% fit. He looks fit anyway. So yeah, he's back. But I did have Rory Sloane captain. He's another one I don't think I can't remember if I had him from the start or not. Because yeah, I've got 3 teams, obviously. One in this, one in the Supercoach, and one in the Real Dream Team. But yeah, Rory Sloane, he's gone up. He's again consistent. Lower score, 112. Very good player. Did have him captain because of his consistency, 130. But definitely have, yeah, Dane Swan this week captain. He always steps up on Anzac Day, the big Essendon game. So you got to be pumped for that. You'll be expecting him to just put out an amazing performance. So anyone else of notes? Like the other premium, Jordan Lewis is just consistent as they come. You probably want to put him captain, but he's been so consistent. So my midfielders are posting good scores. If you just take out account Jack Stephen, he hasn't got any scores for me personally yet, but hopefully he does. And my rookie price plays have been okay. I'm happy with them. Like Cripps, 81, of course, he was a late out the previous week, but he came back. Like he's one of the guy who's going to pick up more possessions. He's definitely a ball magnet. Sorry, he's gonna get the points. The first round was really disappointing with a 54, but then stepped up, got a 81. So heading in, going to play his 3rd game, and he's going to increase a lot more. He's a guy he's one of those guys you're not going to keep for the whole season, but you're going to look to upgrade him. So definitely will be looking for downgrade targets once he reaches maximum price. And also Cam Alice-Yeoman, he's a guy, again, he's one of the better rookies, but a guy you're still going to look to upgrade him because he hasn't broke the 100. I don't know about anyone else, but to me, he looks like Rio Ferdinand, in my opinion. He's a good player though. Like coming in, I was gonna say it's not his first year. It's definitely not his first year. I think he's a bit older. Like, he's 21, 22, something like that. A big body as well. So he's good for this time in the season for a rookie midfielder. Getting some consistent scores, average of 79, 94 last week was amazing. And my 2 bench players, Vandenberg and Newton, they're ideal bench spots for me because you know they are probably not going to be dropped, and yeah, they're going to be making some decent money. Like, they're guys you're never going to see them unless they get subbed or something. I can't see them getting a really, really poor score, you know, like a low 30 or something, like a Tuke Miller kind of score. Yeah, definitely, they're going to be consistent. They're going to make you, they're like a general rookie, general cash cow, what you're going to expect them. Also, yeah, the rucks, that's something I want to sort out at some point in case, yeah, one is a late withdrawal. I want to be a bench ruck playing. Who do you have right now? I think there would be someone cheap, but I just haven't had the available trades yet to bring someone in. So, to round it off the forwards, Mitch Honeychurch is, I'm not sure, is that he's not playing at all, or is he on the bench? He must be, yeah, just on the bench, I think, the extended bench. But just in case he doesn't play, yeah, I think that's the extended. I'll put Mitch Clark, because I always get dodgy with that, but I'll see later. If he's named in the squad, of course. Not on the emergencies. Yeah, I'll put him emergency because he's a midfielder. We'll see anyway. Mitch Clark, of course, he's going to play like key forward. And yeah, the forwards been pretty consistent. Goddard improving. I think he had a poor first couple weeks, but been improving. Dane Swan already talked on him. Luke Dalhouse has been an inspired pick for me, to be honest. Just got to wait for his picture to to change. But yeah, he hasn't dropped below 100 so far. Lowest score, 101, and only 3.5% of people have him. That's insane. And I'm not sure why Alice Yeoman is still showing his picture. But as I said, I can't believe, like, everyone's jumped on the Bont, hashtag the Bont, yeah? And he was laid out last week. So I was sitting back and I was just so happy about myself that I didn't jump on him last week. I almost did. I can't remember why I didn't, but I did in Supercoach and the Real Dream Team. So I just felt, yeah, AFL Fantasy, this is my year this year. I haven't got too much going wrong. Of course, yeah, Mitch Wallace, a bit of a disappointment, but you always get that. Something at this stage in the season is going to go bad for you. But yeah, that's it. Like, Dalhouse, an amazing pick for me. So I don't have to, waste a trade to get him in. He's He's already locked in there. I picked him at the start of the season. Been very, very impressive. Even with, poor last game Bulldogs had. Very consistent. Cam McCarthy, I'm going to start him this week as GWS. Where are they? Yeah, they're playing against Gold Coast and playing at home. So, and he's been getting decent scores for a key forward. Like, he's basically average. Well, he's averaged more than Mitch Clark. And he's a young key forward compared to Mitch Clark, a bit experienced. So, yeah, I'm going to start him ahead of Honeychurch as Bulldogs. Who are they playing again? They're playing Adelaide, so that's going to be that's going to be a hard game for Bulldogs. So that's pretty much it, I think, and Salem as well, because he's playing the halfback. He hasn't had a huge score. He had 2 big scores in the preseason, yeah. So I think he's due. For me, Salem he's due for 100, or at least a 90. Well, he's got 85. Yeah, I still think he's due to break 100, as I did. I think he got 100 and a 90 in the preseason in the NAB games. But yeah, I think he's due for a big score, 100. I feel he is. Hopefully, after saying that, he does get that this week. They're playing today. They're playing tonight. The game starts tonight. Richmond, Melbourne. I feel, Richmond will still win convincingly. Dustin Martin, you would expect to step up. Again, after a poor first week, Dustin Martin has been really, really consistent and amazing, as you would expect. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all. I covered my overall 346. And so you can... I'm not going to make any more... This is the team I'm going in with. Unless there's any late changes from now until lockouts. Maybe just, emergency changes, if that. But this is the team I'm going to be starting with. So you can see if I'm doing well throughout the weekend. You can come and look at this video, see if these players are doing well. You can check out their scores, whatever, who I have captain. And again, unless there's late news, very, very late news, I'm going to be keeping, Dane Swan captain. So you're going to see how he goes. So keep track for my players tonight. Of course, Hunt. I've got quite a few tonight, don't I? I've got Lumumba. Oh, I don't know whether it's... Like, you don't want to drop Alistair. Maybe you think about Cripps or for Vandenberg or Newton. But, again, you don't want to risk. For me, Cripps, even in a losing performance, he picked up 81 in the last game. And he's a guy that had an amazing preseason as well. Like, him and Salem, I feel, are due for a ton. And until they get that, I'm not going to drop them to the bench, because they're going to get it at one point, and I'm going to be waiting for that. But yeah, look, tonight, you got Lumumba, Melbourne, Richmond. Lumumba, Taylor Hunt, McIntosh, and I guess I still like to count my bench players. Of course, they're playing, because they're going to be generating money for you, but for your actual score, got Martin and Salem as well. So you want to... That's with that amount of players on the field for you, that's 3. Yeah, 3 and 2. So that's 5. So 5 players. That's a big... It's either I'm going to start crap to the round, or I'm going to start good. My happiness over this weekend will be based around those scores. But obviously, when your captain hasn't played yet, that can all turn around. But anyway, if you want to see some more of these videos, and if you like me analysing each position, make it a pretty in-depth video, not just a quick one saying my score and the biggest scorers and the crapper scorers, what are my trades or whatever. Yeah, if you like, give me a decent, me giving a decent review of my team, and you want to see this weekly, maybe, weekly updates, drop your feedback. Of course, my channel is mostly based around Football Manager and FIFA, but I'll try and do weekly videos of my team on AFL Fantasy. And we'll see how it goes. Oh, I forgot. Late out. If you haven't heard the news, Robbie Gray is a late out. And over 50% of people, look at that, almost 54% of people have him. So if people say they're at work or something and they haven't heard of the news and they've already made their trades, big news, and that happens. Like me, I make I make YouTube videos. So I'm basically home every single day, so I can make those late changes and all of that if needed, which is a bit beneficial for Supercoach with the rolling lockouts. But that's completely another story. Hopefully you enjoyed the video though. Drop a like if you want to see some more, and I shall see you guys in the next video.